Okay, hello everyone. I think we are good. Apologies for the delay. I was trying to find a way to finagle live streaming here on YouTube as well as here on Instagram. So I think we are good. So we'll go with this. I will give like a minute or so for folks to come in because obviously I'm not starting right at 10, so I'm sure folks are um, trying to figure out where I am. So I hope everybody's doing well. While I wait, I'm going to take a sip of my matcha latte. Oh, hello. We have UK joining with the water. That is Jazz. Welcome, welcome. I've missed being here. It's also been like a minute since I've live streamed on IG as well. So anyway, I haven't been like giving much love over there. So hello, welcome on IG, Old Naturel. Thank you. As you come in, of course, say hello. Let us know where you are joining from in the world and what you might be sipping on. My name is Jeanette the Oracle. I am founder and CEO of Innerson Alchemy, a spiritual life coaching and business strategy business service provider. I support light workers, career professionals, entrepreneurs, nonprofit leaders with not only their personal and spiritual development, but also with the development of their enterprise and their greater work in the world. Hello from Brooklyn. Nice, welcome. What are you sipping on? Oh, you got some water. Yes, I actually forgot to get water because I was so focused on getting this latte and I knew it was running late, so I forgot about the water. But we're just gonna pray for the hydration in the latte. Yes, so welcome to Oracle Talks. In general, I do these on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or Pacific Time, because we do operate under daylight savings time, so it just Pacific time zone. Usually most Thursdays at 10 a.m. Sometimes, there are special occasions where I will not be present. And that's, can be for a variety of reasons, whether that's personal or, as in the case most recently, during this eclipse season and, just dealing with all of that energy and all of the spiritual work that I'm called to do. It's the priority is not necessarily to do an Oracle Talks, but we are back. You survived the eclipse, hopefully, and you're doing well. Take a deep breath. It's been very active. I don't know, for those of you on YouTube, hopefully you are also following me on IG, but I did post in the community tab here on YouTube about the solar flares. So me and some light workers have been doing work over the past few weeks about really dealing with some basically dark energy. And if you've been following the Oracle Talks for the past couple of weeks on YouTube, you know that we've specifically got called to address some things with the beasts. I think that started like in the beginning part of August. I think it was August 15th, actually, when the Holy Spirit like specifically was like, hey, we need to talk about this. So yeah, it's just been like the doors have opened in a big way in terms of kind of this more targeted work that light workers in particular need to do. So we've been very busy over the past 2 weeks, addressing some of those things. It is not over, because this is a long-term kind of war that we are engaged with for the reclamation of our sovereignty, the ascension of our souls, whether here incarnate or those who are in the astral realms, and just overall governance and stewardship and partnership with Mother Earth and the nature kingdom. So all of the things. Yes, been missing Oracle Talks Thursday. Yeah, it was only one week, but it felt like so much has happened. Because so much has happened. But I am glad to be back. But yeah, I haven't necessarily been streaming on IG. I've been primarily on YouTube for two reasons. One is just the video. If I am only on IG and I bring it over to YouTube, it's just the 9:16. So I don't like that part of it. But also too, IG and Meta at large is not a friend to us. So it's not a friend to us. So, how we basically don't own these platforms, it's important for us to not be too dependent on them. So I definitely have been prioritizing YouTube, but I think I can, with this setup, be able to do both. But if you want to catch up on just all the things that have been going on for the past month and a half in Oracle Talks, I highly, highly, highly recommend you do so. It is very important. That's where that prayer for protection for the souls of humanity came out of. That is on the blog page. I will, once we're done with this, post that in the link to the description in the YouTube video. But for the folks on IG, you can actually just go to my website on the blog page. That prayer is there. There's also many other resources and information there about the dimensions of heaven. There's also a prayer for the oppressors specifically. That work is to support the healing of those who behave in suppressive and oppressive tactics, because I know it's not necessarily popular to bring this to the forefront, but all of us are going together in this ascending thing. Like, the folks don't get left out, but at the core, healing needs to occur. And so one of the ways that we can, as I mentioned in my stories today about the starving the beast, one of the ways that we can starve the beast is to remove the fuel. A lot of that fuel comes from trauma in the spirit, from folks just not doing what they're supposed to be doing in the spirit and all that. And we can, with our own prayers, with the words, with the power of our words, we can affect change in the astral as well, in addition to other abilities or community we have. Now that I know you're on YouTube, I'll definitely keep a lookout. Yes, definitely. If you go to the link in my bio, you'll see the icon for YouTube. So just click on that. It'll take you directly to the channel and subscribe there. Has it only been a week? Yes, so much has happened. Yeah, right. So I definitely want to check in with folks. Let me know how you have been over these last 2 weeks. I hope, again, for those who have been staying connected to the Oracle Talks for the past couple of weeks, that you have been continuing with that prayer of protection, that you have specifically been clearing contracts through all dimensions and really focusing on, leveling yourself up in the spirit, so to speak. But let me know what's been happening. Have you been seeing anything in dreams? Like, what's been going on in your life? How are you feeling, like, in your body, energetically? Like, let me know. And while you are doing that, I'm going to get an oracle card out to see what the Holy Spirit specifically would like to have that is actually most important to address today, out of the myriad of things that I can talk about. And that I can address. Snap. I just realized there's actually a unicorn in here. Oh, no, it's a horse, not a unicorn. Okay. Welcome to folks coming in. Again, as you come in, please say hello. Let us know where you're joining from and what you are sipping on. I have a matcha latte here for me right now. I'm actually joining from sunny California. We were starting to come into some fall weather after a massive heat wave, and now it's starting to get warm again. So at some point, the actual autumn weather will show up. I've been doing that instinctively, leaning into Unity's prayer for protection, purging. I've been really sick and prioritizing lots of rest. I'm sorry that you've been sick, but yeah, our bodies have been doing a lot of work to clear. So as I mentioned in my stories on IG, I believe, it was on IG, protecting and supporting our microbiome is really important. So make sure our digestion is well, so that we can clear as much as we need to. That may mean increasing or actually adding in, if you're not already incorporating those probiotics into your diet, so that your microbiome is really doing well. Specifically, whether you take probiotic pills, or if you eat a lot of fermented foods or have access to that, there's many ways to do that, but that's something that helps. Let's see, the eclipse period has been hectic to say the least, but have felt grounded throughout. Good. Yesterday was the only time really where I felt a bit apprehensive from the energies, but it's due to all the changes coming in. Also been pretty consistent with the prayer. Awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. Really glad to hear that. I have been too. And like I said, that prayer for the protection of the souls of humanity, is to be continued on a daily basis through the beginning part of December. So essentially the 4 moons, because we started in August. So continue through there, both for the greater souls of humanity, the rest of the soul family, as well as for ourselves individually, because we are included. Welcome to everybody coming in on IG. So you're going to see me like looking back and forth. So hopefully that doesn't, throw you off. I'm going to try to stay as connected as possible to the comments. All right, so let me get everybody settled in now that you've shared a bit. And as folks come in, please do continue to share. If you're watching on a recording, whether on YouTube or on IG, please do share in the comments. It's really important that you speak up and you participate in sharing your experience rather than like sitting in the shadows and just being like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's not that big of a deal. Or my voice doesn't matter. It does matter, okay? Take up space. Please take up space, because if you don't take up space, something else will. That's supposed to, really be you, not something else. So please take up space. But as we sit here, go ahead and sit up nice and tall, feet on the floor, or if you can also say cross-legged, whatever your preference is. And take a few deep breaths. You can either do a counted breath, a couple counts inhale, a couple count hold, a couple count exhale, a couple count holds, that kind of cycle breath. Or, do a evening of your breath, so equal length inhale to equal length exhale. Go with what you feel at the moment. But go through at least 5 cycles of whatever your preferred breathing technique is at this time. And as you do so, I will set up a container. I welcome in and forth the power and the presence of the spirits of the elements of air, fire, water, and earth. Welcome. Hi, family joining from Houston with water. Welcome. Also the spirits of the directions, east, south, west, north, above and below. Also our respective elevated beneficial ancestors in heaven specifically. Our personal guardian angels and protectors. Our personal ascended masters and teachers and healers. As well as our personal heavenly mates. I also welcome in and forth the power and the presence of Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Uriel, and Archangel Raphael. All of these in our divine team to set and hold a sacred container for our healing and our protection, both individually and as a group, whether you're watching live or on the recording. I ask that our team please neutralize, cancel, clear, and remove and transmute any and all harmful energies, malevolent energies, entities, emotions, thought forms, psychic cords, attachments, miasma, monitoring or spying technologies, whether organic or inorganic, both from us individually at all dimensions of self, capital S self, as well as the place that we are residing in. Welcome to folks coming in from Florida, drinking water. Welcome. Continue with your breathing. I also ask this team to please purify, sanctify, and divinitize all dimensions of ourselves and the space that these protective containers are where we reside. Now repeat after me out loud. Use your voice. If you are, at work watching, just say this quietly, whisper it, but still like speak. I welcome in and forth the power and the presence of my higher self to bring all dimensions of me into alignment with it and my divine core star essence, which is my divinity, that spark of Mother, Father, Source. Please align my heart chakra center, my soul heart chakra center, my cosmic heart chakra center, my consciousness, my subconsciousness, and my unconsciousness with you, my higher self, and my divine core star essence. Align me with the highest dimensional consciousness and vibrational frequency that is best supportive for me at this time. Expand my, aura field, all levels and layers, so that I may receive and implement and integrate more and more light, so I may come into a deeper awareness and affinity and experience of my true soul nature. May any burdens that my soul is carrying, whether unconsciously, subconsciously, or consciously, be released at this time. And I ask that this divine team, this divine family that is here, quarantine and transmute that which is being released. I also ask that this divine team please repel and reverse any negative energies, spirits or beings, specifically malevolent energies, spirits or beings that are sending attacks, oppression energy, suppression energy towards this expansion of me, of my consciousness, of my soul. I reclaim my soul sovereignty in this moment now. And I give thanks to Mother, Father, Source for this gift of life, and for this ability to consciously be who I truly am. I pray, declare, and decree this to be so in all times, all spaces, all frequencies, and all dimensions in which myself exists, for my highest and greatest good. Amen. All right, welcome to folks who are coming in. Please make sure you do go back and go back through the first, I'd say like, what are we at, 19 minutes of this video? And get yourself right energetically. Let me know how, for those of you who have been here, at least for most of this, let me know how you are feeling. We got a few cards out. Actually, I'm going to show the primary one on top for the topics for today. Came out the Sovereign. The Sovereign came out. IG folks, here's the image. This deck is the Threads of Fate deck. In case you're wondering, I'll hold this a little closer for everybody here. There's a crown here at the bottom. Now, there are other cards that came out. So we also have the Sacred Destruction card. Then we have the Paradox card. Oh, real quick, whether you are on YouTube or on IG, please do like the video. And if you are not already subscribed or following, please do so. Also, please share this with anyone who you feel would really benefit from this, whether live or on the recording. Next, we have Get Wild. Here's the card. And then one of my faves, because you know I have that energy in the spirit, the warrior. I try to behave here in this. Nah, I do behave here in the physical, but in the spirit, like it's a struggle to not want to burn things down. Feeling good after the prayer, nice energy, awesome. Bottom of the deck is the underworld. I've actually haven't seen this card. I've had this deck for a while, but I only look at the cards that come out when they come out. This is the energy, all of it, right? The underworld is here. Now, I may go ahead and read the sovereign one, but the imagery from this underworld card specifically is giving me like imprisonment of those who've been engaged in shenanigans. I don't know if that's actually what's going to be on the card, because again, I haven't seen it, but that's what that card is looking like. It doesn't look like a state of ecstasy and epiphany to me. Right now, it's giving that vibe of imprisonment, but it might be something else. I will not read all these cards. So I'll consider these to be clarifications of the sovereign, but the sovereign I will go ahead and read briefly. Again, this is the Threads of Fate Oracle deck. Where's the top? Here we go. All right. So it's created by Blair Porter and Britt June. And I believe they have an IG account, the Threads of Fate. Hello to folks coming in on IG. Welcome, welcome. Lock them up. Listen, a lot has been locked up. A lot has been locked up, trust me. There's been a lot that has been locked up. When I tell you, I'll go briefly into like what's been going on the last 2 weeks, and we'll be continuing to go on. But yeah, there definitely has been some arrests being made. All right, so the sovereign. I'll hold the card like here so that both cameras can see. All right, so the sovereign card invites us to activate the leader, visionary, and enthusiast within us. Listen. Because I was in the shower earlier and I was getting heated because I was like, folks are not stepping up in their spiritual power and I'm not here for it. I was like, I don't want to be yelling at folks today, but I feel like I'm going to end up yelling. It's time, well, not yelling, but fussing. It is a time to welcome in passion and fire while creating structure that allows for you to nurture your dreams. Sovereign creates a container which allows for growth within themselves and others. Remember how I always say, like, it's not just service to other and that sacrifice, like we're not doing that martyr thing anymore. It also includes us in this human incarnation. It is a both and, not an either or. So if you show up strong in one area, you need to show just as strong up in the other area. Okay? They approach situations with a no bullshit attitude. This is what it says. And may come across as harsh to some people. Their strong boundaries and opinions may even be intimidating to others. That's what I get, folks being intimidated. But in reality, it is their way of nurturing. They have no interest in appeasing others simply to keep them comfortable. They will continue to push those around them so that they can grow. It is time to grow. It is time to ascend. That last sentence with me. The sovereign also calls us to create structure. From a place of structure, the sovereign knows that life runs more smoothly, allowing for the manifestation of true success, security, and happiness. Where in your life do you continually find chaos? Giving side eye to both. Where are your energy and resources getting sapped? Please also know that this message, thank you, Spirit, this message is not just for us here, it is also for the heavenly realms. This smoke is for everybody today. From the lower realms to the higher realms. This smoke is for everyone. Where are you continually finding chaos? Where are your energy and resources getting sapped? The sovereign invites you to examine those situations practically and cut out what is no longer serving you. And this is going to be my addition, including those places within yourself where you are not acting right as it relates to what's actually for you to be doing and how you are to be showing up that's authentic to you. The sovereign invites you, this is not a time for being sentimental or nostalgic. I know we love to talk about Sankofa, y'all. But the point of Sankofa is to not go backwards. And at some point, you're going to have to turn around and face the future and decide how you want to show up next and what's possible for us communally next. And that does not mean by default to repeat what has occurred before. It can be similar, but exactly repeating what has come before is not growth, is not evolution, is not ascension. Yes, the framework for a cycle for the cyclical nature of things remains the same, but that does not mean that we stay in the same place. We're not even in the same place of the physical universe. So yeah, 26,000 years per session of equinox. But 26,000 years ago, we weren't in the same place, y'all. Literally was not in the same place physically in the Milky Way galaxy. We're in a new space. Yes, Sankofa is also reaching into the future. But folks stay focused on the past because they are not willing to let go. You cannot have a womb for birth in the same place that you are killing. Like, you let the dead things die. Breathe, Jeanette. The sovereign is realistic about what is needed and gets it done, knowing that it makes room for true peace. And I believe that is it for that message. Oh no, there's still more. The balanced sovereign is a leader that belongs only to themselves. So first and foremost, again, the self-sovereignty. That is your number one priority. If you do nothing else, please do that. They are in service to others by choice, and their method of leading is in empowering others. They are strong and know just how capable they are. They will claim their space without hesitating, inviting others around them to do the same. Did I not just say earlier to take up space when we were beginning that prayer? An unbalanced sovereign may become domineering. They can become too controlling and boundaried, not creating space for emotional connections and softness with those in their life. They fear not being in control and in turn may lash out at those around them and micromanage everything their loved ones do. And I would also add for this, for the unbalanced sovereign, that they seek to suppress and oppress and prevent others from coming into power because They don't want others to have what they have. They want to always be at the top. Like, you can come up, but not up to where they are, and definitely not past where they are. That's not the kind of sovereign we want to be. Oh, look, the underworld is like right next to the sovereign. I will go ahead and read it. So the underworld card, if the underworld card comes to you, it is either an invitation to go within yourself, or it serves as an acknowledgement of where you currently are. If you do not sense you are in the underworld, then this card is asking you to take a pause and allow the things that need to fall away to do so. We just had a South Node solar eclipse. Let dead things die. If you are in the underworld at this moment, it can feel like it is trial after trial, loss after loss. It may also feel empty and uncomfortable. The underworld is where we die and are reborn. It holds the fire of transformation. So many people resist being in the underworld or try to rush the journey, but this card is asking you to settle into it in surrender. Give yourself permission to be in this in-between space and welcome the changes to the best of your ability. While we are in the underworld, we need to allow ourselves to be there without anticipating the rebirth. We must simply be there. The big thing that's coming through with that is that that surrender part for some, but in particular, especially with the other realms where folks are this unbalanced sovereign energy. The core of this issue is, the lack of a continuing development with mother, father, source. Like, full stop. Because the only time you start, gripping and wanting to hold and control so much in the outside worlds, whatever that outside world is going to be for you, regardless of what dimension you are in, is because you are thinking that what is outside of you, what you do, what you have, the powers that you have, what's under your control, your position, et cetera, et cetera. Like I said, the smoke is for everybody today. Giving that greater priority than the spirit is the issue. And folks don't want to go home in their heart. They don't want to go home in their spirit. Or they don't realize that that's the issue. Some consciously do. And some don't realize that that's the issue. So for those who are unaware, throughout all the realms, that this is the core issue, you are being encouraged, implored, to turn to source, to return home to mother, father, source in your heart and your spirit. Get back to your own personal healing. Get back to your own spiritual development. Not your stuff, not your powers, not who you have access to, not your position. Those are and always have been secondary. Same goes true for humans. I invite everyone to nullify, cancel, and release any contract from a past life or even in this life that has created this belief from, experience, trauma, etc. Experience from those in authority who abused their power and oppressed you. And you took that to mean that is how God, that is how mother, father, source, that is how great spirit is towards you and behaves towards you. That is not true. So wherever that idea, that seed, that root, that belief system has been implanted, I invite you to nullify, cancel, and delete that contract. If that needs to be part of your daily prayers so that gets entrained in your unconsciousness, your subconsciousness, and your consciousness, please do it, because that is the lie of the devil. You are not separate from source. The only reason you exist and continue to exist is because source is existing you. You don't even control your breathing. Let me be clear. It is love, it is power and presence of Mother, Father, Source, Great Spirit, whatever terminology you like to use, that is there for you and loves you and has you here unequivocally. It is love. And the beauty, the gift of the physical existence, regardless of dimension, regardless of the realm, is that you get to have a conscious awareness of the magnitude of all that is and an individuated experience of it. And your service, your work, and this is for those under the sound of my voice throughout the realms. If you are choosing to listen to me, this is for you. Your service is directly tied to making sure that that ability of enlightenment, self-awareness to occur in all beings, regardless of where you are, regardless of who you are particularly connected to. For us here now, this is Souls of Humanity. This is the Nature Kingdoms. All of which are housed in the womb of Mother Earth. Okay, that's our job, in case you did not know. That is the objective. So it does not matter where you are. It does not matter what your position is. It does not matter what your tools, your abilities, your powers, your networks, your connection are. In some way, shape, or form, it is in service to that. These are the laws of heaven. And so when you are choosing to, because it is a choice, to shirk your responsibility, whether because you feel uncomfortable or don't want to have responsibility, because again, you have this traumatized version of power playing out in your head, or because you want to abuse your position by suppressing and oppressing, you are out of alignment with the laws of heaven, to say it nicely. If you don't want a position, just step out of it, for those who are shirking responsibility. Right? You can do something else. I've already mentioned this. Move out the way and allow someone else to step in place who is better suited for that role. But real talk, and this is my opinion, this is not from spirit. If you are naturally suited in the spirit for something, and you are choosing to not step into that, you are out of alignment with yourself. Because it should be a joy. Because it's natural to you. And you need to focus on building up your will building up your power, and building up your relationship with your soul. Because I can guarantee there is something outside of you that you are making more important than who and whose you are. And you're letting outside foolishness, because it is foolishness, keep you out of position. And not only does that fuck up your life, it also fucks up everybody else's life. You cannot say that you want better stewardship of power, that you want, an improvement in condition for everyone, and all of that if you don't take up space. It's not for one person to have a burden. If everybody shows up and does their part, then it is shared. And the experience of ease is there and flow. That's actually how it's supposed to be. Just like in romantic relationships, it's actually supposed to be easy. Just like working at a job or whatever work that you do. Yeah, stuff is going to come up, but in general, it's supposed to be easy. Ease is not, lack of obstacle. So step up, please. That's my call out. Spirit doesn't say all that. That's me, Jeanette the Oracle. Step up, please. Like, stop getting punked by folks who quite frankly are unqualified and have gotten comfortable. The sacred discussion card, like this is strong. Love is the highest frequency. Love is superpower. Yeah. How's everybody doing? I say this with fierce love. I'm not backing down. You're not gonna hear me say I'm sorry at all. Like, I just know. There was too many shenanigans for too long. And part of the reason why it's been going on for so long is because folks are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, whether they are human or in the realms. For whatever reason. And it needs to stop. Hold the line, please. Like, can you do that? Delighted in missing these reads. Like, is that how I have to come? Is this how I have to come? It's fine. I don't mind it. Let me get the rest of these cards out and show you these cards. Okay, so first card, we have the High Priestess, Ace of Pentacles, Prince of Cups, and the Tower. And then we have Six of Wands, Five of Wands, Death card, Queen of Earth, Empress. This is representing our energy. How we show up. Again, like I said, you out here getting punked out of position when this is how you show up and whatever it is that is for you to do, regardless of scale. Seven of Wands, and then King of Wands, or King of Earth in the center. Clearly the fire is coming. I'd much rather be from a living source. Okay, so what does this look like? Well, on the first level, human level, self level, right? Like I mentioned in the IG stories today, you need to be proactively leveling up your consciousness, your soul, your energy body. Like that work needs to be continuing. I feel like, and this just may be my perspective, but I feel like there hasn't been as much of a focus on continuing that work by folks. Like it's not in anymore to be talking about your energy field and raising your consciousness as if all of a sudden like that doesn't matter. Is that just me or is that something that you have seen too? Like we are way past needing to, expand our access and awareness and access and awareness of our fifth dimensional energy body and consciousness. We should already be looking at sixth and seventh. Seventh should be the goal, at least. If you've been doing this for a while, you need to go up. So if you're already at seventh, you need to be going to ninth and working on that and taking the time that is needed over the weeks and months ahead to open up that consciousness, to open up those levels of your energy fields. That needs to be continuing. Is that clear? And again, this message also, I know I just said this actually for the for humans, but I'm getting that again, I have to speak to the realms too. You are supposed to be upgrading as well energetically and continuing your spiritual development. Like just because you have gotten to a certain level doesn't mean that that's the end. That's like saying that Mother Father Source ends. Who are you? Ah. Listen, let me sip. Folks out here really scared to embody being a living God, lowercase g, on this planet. I invite you and highly encourage you to neutralize, cancel, and delete that contract and any connections to anyone in the spirit, in the realms, that is suppressing and oppressing your ability to ascend to that level, which is what you start having access to when you get to seventh and go higher. Stop getting punked out of position. This is how we're showing up. This is godhood. The card that came out is the Sovereign. That's just your natural state. If your mind goes to tripping over our idea of sovereignty, which is, the royal families and their abuse of power, that's something to, again, a contract to cancel, nullify, release. Because we don't have that idea when we think about the planet in its godhood, or the moon in its godhood, or the sun in its godhood. The magnificence of it is the thing. Stop getting punked out of position, whether yourself or by others. Take up space. There is more for you. You have not reached the pinnacle. You barely started, if we're going to really talk about it. Because we need to be at least past 24D. And I'm over here fussing to folks for human level to at least get to 7. There's a long track, y'all. We're barely a third of the way. But maybe also that was not known. So if that's a new insight, we say thank you to the Holy Spirit and say, I receive. And I will get to leveling up. The 7 is literally out here in the environment. Like, this is available. You already got the 6 waiting in the wings. That's also available to help. So get to work. A new live talks. Yes. Yes, new Oracle talks. Yes. Yeah. But again, in this context of mother, father, source, and the literal physical universe and the band of awareness, like just these ideas of who you think you are, it's absolutely necessary to unlock, because this is where this spiritual suppression and oppression can occur. We barely have a sense of like ourselves on this physical planet, much less in the context of the solar system that we are in, much less within the Milky Way galaxy. And you're not even reaching for 7D? The fuck? Like, what are we doing? What are y'all doing? Because this, I mean, I've already gotten called out. So I've received the medicine. I've already gotten called out. I got called out during the Spiritual New Year event. Shout out to those who were available. But yeah. Thank you for the insight. It's good to have a goal to work to. I feel like I have to sit and figure out where I'm at right now. Yeah, and also this is why I have the Lightworker Incubator. It is literally a training program to help you with this process, and it gives you for majority of folks, a nice long runway to get you where you need to be. But it's just like I feel like my spirit is screaming into the void. Because I'm like, where are people? Like, for real, where are y'all? How many times do we have to get this message? Like, I'm too much of warrior. Like, this is my card right here. I'm too much of warrior to have that much patience with this kind of energy. Personally, this is not the Holy Spirit. This is personally, like, I have a hard time having patience with this kind of energy of folks who just don't stand in their own personal power, because I'm like, yeah, like, life can be hard, especially for some of us, right? But you are still you. Like, what? How How are we not just together within ourselves? Like, I don't understand that. And especially at your big age, I'm assuming most of the folks that are here with me, and whether live or on the recording, are over 30. Like, aren't you tired of the same stories and the same kind of cycles? Like, there is more. We could be doing more. We could be organizing. Like, there is more. There's more that can be done. And just because most of the folks around you might not be prioritizing their spiritual work, that does not mean that you go at their pace just so you have company. I really want to say just leave those niggas behind. But I know that triggers a fear because you think that people are actually going to be left behind, but they're not. You advance the way so that it's easier for them. I'm working my way up to joining because these are not the conversations I have with my peers. This is soul nourishing. Yeah. Listen, I can tell because look, how many times, especially the past couple of weeks on Oracle Talks, have I been asking folks to, comment below the video, let me know what's going on, or send me, a private message on my contact page on my website about, stuff that's being discussed. And I know shit is going down. I know they have intel. I know stuff is coming up, that they have gifts, that whatever the thing is, and no one is talking. And that shit pisses me off. Because there's no reason. Yes, we're fighters today. Hey, April. There's literally there is no good reason. And by good reason, I mean, like, okay, you were sick, there's some family shit happening, you got to handle some stuff. But even if that stuff comes up, none of it is taking more than like 2 weeks of your time. Let's be honest. What excuse do you have for the last 2 to 3 years plus of shenanigans? Like, what is the excuse, for real? And again, this is for the realms too. This is not just for the humans. I am coming for everyone today. What is the excuse? And I'm coming for folks, whether in the human realm or in the spirit, who are like, I don't know who I'm supposed to be connected to, or I don't, have such a, no, because you do have mother, father, source. The Holy Spirit talks to you as directly as it talks to me, because there is no separation. So we're not about to lie. You just want to be disobedient. You just want to keep using the power of your own trauma that's generated for some little semblance of power and control and coin, rather than show up and show out. You don't have no elevated beneficial ancestors in heaven. You don't know no name of an archangel. How many prayers for the archangels I got to give you? You still have not developed a relationship with nobody yet, right? You waiting for still someone else to tell you something. Listen, I'm not having it today or any day. I actually haven't had it for a while, but I have not been honest. I'm going to be honest today. because we don't actually need to be at this level of complacency and suffering. And again, at the root of it is because we are not prioritizing our relationship with Mother, Father, Source, Great Spirit, whatever you want to call it, and our own spirit. We're making that third, second, third, fourth, last on the list. And because of that, we just out here blowing in the wind. Like we don't have resources, like we don't have knowledge, like we don't have tools, like we don't have power, like we can't call down heaven. Like we can't stand in the gap for our own ancestors. Like we can't call out trifling behavior in the folks around us, whether in the physical or in the realms. The bullshit that you see with your coworkers. On some who am I shit. When we all know who you are. And the devil and the beast and all their allies know too. You just the one out here looking like a fool. And we're out here collectively suffering because of it. Who do you think the next guard is, y'all? We talk about the changing of the guard. Who do you think the guard is? It is us. Why are folks in the realms in positions that they don't need to be in because they are not appropriately stewarding their position? It's because you are not there doing it. Because you are shirking your responsibility. Because you don't want to continue to grow spiritually. You don't want to continue to show up more in your personal life as well as in the spirit. Okay. Let me sip. Welcome to folks joining in. Let me see how much battery I have on my phone. Okay. I'm gonna plug in my laptop. 1 second. All right, so we know what's most important, right? That relationship with spirit, great spirit, coming home in our heart, in our hearts and minds to spirit, because that is the only answer to what we are longing for. That is first and foremost. And then that goes to whatever is next for us to expand within our soul awareness, our energy body, etc. Again, you need to at least, if you have not already, be working towards and set the goal of 7D consciousness and energetic access. If you are already there, you need to be going to 9D. If you are already at 9D, you need to be going to 11 and 12D. You keep going. There will not be a stopping point because within your human lifetime, you will not be able to reach the all that is in terms of energy and awareness. But at the very least, I will say, so we have like a longer term view, 24D. Okay? Making sense. I hope so. All right. Now, also, everybody has a position. What is that position? It's just going to be related to what your natural gifts and talents are in this human incarnation. I've already shared in previous videos on YouTube for Oracle Talks ways to figure out what type of light worker you are. So there's one video that is specifically addressing that threefold nature that matches the threefold nature of the divine. So the way showers, the healers or sustainers, and then the transformers. Okay, that's a good framework to have in mind for your human life and in the human world. Okay. And then in the spirit, because you also have work to do in the spirit because you exist in all spaces and dimensions. I also have given that framework in a previous Oracle Talks a couple weeks ago, based on your rising sign or North Node sign. If you do not know your rising sign, the information is there. Do not act like you do not know at this point now. For those in the realms, because this is for you too, excluding astral folks, if you're above astral, so 5D and up, you already know what you're supposed to be doing. Get back to work. Get back in position. Get back to work. Get back to position. Okay. And there are other teachers, masters, supervisors, if you will, who are available to help you. They've always been there. Like they didn't necessarily like all of a sudden up and disappeared. If they got promoted, you can still go and talk to them and get what you need. This feels like HR right now. The information is there, y'all. Let's see, anything else on that? I believe that's it. Before I continue, any questions, comments, concerns right now? Because all of that discussion was just about like getting heads right to face forward. Any questions, comments, concerns? Again, make use of those resources that are freely available. And if you find that you are needing more, get your ass into the Lightworker Incubator when that opens up later this year. Like, talk to your ancestors now. Let them help you. If you feel like it's going to be a struggle, get it handled. Like, just please. Okay, so I don't see anything, so we're going to continue. Facing forward. Now, for those of you, well, in general, for this greater work that is occurring in the higher realms as it relates to supporting the ascension of the souls of humanity and the nature kingdoms, because it is a both and. Okay, the only reason we can even have the experience of humanity and being human beings is because of also the nature kingdoms. We are all part of and live on the womb of Mother Earth. Okay. And they're receiving this call out too. When I said everybody in the realms, I mean everyone. This includes those in nature kingdoms. This includes the fairies, the elves, the gnomes, like all the folks. Guardians, everybody. Okay. So in support of that work, again, and based on the light worker role in the spirit that you have, based on your rising sign and or north node, depending on your situation of what you know. The objective is to support that ascension work in those variety of ways. The particular tactics that me, myself, and I, as a throne of heaven, okay, working with Archangel Gabriel, that is one of my supervisors. The focus that I have in terms of my contribution to this work is to reclaim territory that has been taken by these darker forces, which include those who are suppressing and oppressing for their own benefit, just in general. To, how do I phrase this? Essentially, well, starve out the beast by removing the network and the infrastructure that allows it and its allies, we'll just say dark forces overall, that allows it and its allies to steal souls of humanity, feed off of them, feed off of the different nature kingdoms, like that shows up in a lot of places. So just in general, taking down systematically those areas that are being used for, the paratization of the souls of humanity, of the planets, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So in general, those two things. There is a lot of subset within that can be included in that. So of course that includes the continual elevation of our ancestors, because the astral realm, a lot of shenanigans happen there, because a lot of mess happens in the 5th and 7th, and they prey on the 4th and the 3rd. Okay. So those folks in the spirit need to be taken care of and protected, and continue to be supported in their elevation, their healing, their empowerment, et cetera, et cetera. All right. For the lost souls that are there, there's been a lot of death over the millennia. Not all of those souls have been able to ascend, y'all. FYI, again, y'all might not know this, but not all those souls were able to ascend over however long, much less all the souls that are dying now. So that is an area where, these dark forces can feed. So you may be called, or you may be shown or be aware of in the spirit, of these disembodied souls or these spirits who need help returning to the light. Please help them. If those are your gifts, you know that they are your gifts. You probably already previously practiced them and might have fallen off. It is time to upgrade. Again, if you need additional support or what have you, comment below or send me a message on the contact page of my website. I do the army shit. So if you need, weapons and all that kind of stuff, I'll help you with that. But don't get punked out of your position because you're like, ooh, the ooga booga in the corner, that you are more than qualified to be able to handle. And not only can you help those souls come home to Mother Father Source, but also be helping to fight this war against the dark forces. Like, please, y'all, come on. If you consider what is happening in our physical world to be that important, please understand simultaneously what is happening in the spirit is just as important. And if you out here thinking that you don't have the power to do things, or you might not have the resources to give to certain, mutual aids because your money's not that tight, like, please stop getting your feelings, because you can do stuff in the spirit. If you have breath and voice, like, come on now. And again, if there are questions, you have me as a resource. You have also other light workers on here as a resource. So stop acting like you can't do it or you don't know. I'm more than happy to explicitly talk about it here because it needs to be talked about. Because we stay getting punked out of what we should be doing. Like, folks are literally gods walking around and just like scared of some bullshit. Like, we're not even, like, half the time, folks aren't even really dealing with like big bad shit, to be honest, and just out here scared. Like, I don't understand. Because when I come across the way my spirit is set up, when I come across foolishness, I get mad. I'm like, why the fuck are you in my space? Why are you here? What are you doing? Like, I have to control myself. So I truly, as a personal note, I don't understand being shook. It's rare that I'm shook, but only times I am shook up is because it's like actually like big and high dimensional. That is extremely rare. Most of the bullshit should be under your heel, point blank, especially if you roll and fuck with me. So I don't know what to tell you. Welcome to folks who are coming on IG. Welcome from London with water. Awesome, nice. Yes, exactly. Okay. But that's an example. That's just one example. Whatever is going to be for you, okay? And especially recently over these past 2 months, again, I was talking about it already in Oracle Talks on YouTube. Please go catch up on those videos if you are not clear. But many of us did get put into new positions, myself included. So, guess what? You'll find that out as you do deepen your relationship with spirit and again, focus on your energy body and expanding. Okay. Minimum 7D. I'm saying that again because new folks are coming in. Minimum 7D. If you're already at 7D and already have access to the 7th dimensional layer of your aura, you need to be going higher. Go to 9D. If you're already at 9, you need to go to 10, 11, 12. Keep going. When you hit 24, then we can talk. All right. Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns before I continue? And this can include questions about, light worker roles or any of that stuff. This is a good time to ask because you have me here live. If you have intel to share, this is a great time to share as well too. Or again, you can share it in the comments in the recording when that's up or otherwise. Part of the reason also why in general, whether humans or in the realms might be scared or getting punked out is because you are not energetically high enough to where you're supposed to be. So you're seeing and experiencing things at the level of the problem rather than dimensionally being higher from it. Because when you're dimensionally higher from it, you're like, whatever is this? This is like a cockroach. I'm going to step on it. I definitely felt the shift in position. Awesome. So are you clear on what your position is? Have you been able to check out those videos on YouTube and figure out what that is? Do you need help with that? Let me know. I am actually feeling the call to bring back the incubator alumni group, especially because there's been so much work recently with one cluster of us over the past 2 weeks, and the work definitely needs to expand. So I'm thinking about that. If you are an alumni watching and that's something that is drawn to you, definitely let me know. I need help figuring out my own position. Okay, so what is for all natural, what is your rising sign? I can just give you a brief thing right now, but if you know your rising sign, I can at least tell you what the position is in the spirit. But yeah, definitely go check out those 2 videos specifically. So the light worker role as it relates to whether you're wish or sustainer or transformer, and that's more 3D world. And then there's another video for the spirit ones. Okay, so you're Libra rising. Oh, come through. I'm a Libra rising too. And then Deanna, you're Virgo. Okay, so Libra rising, you guys are in the executive branch. Of course, I don't have water now. So like the executive branch to our the US here, this is basically the army and the military. So soldier things. Okay, and you can learn more in the video, but that gives you a sense. Virgo is related to the actual courts, so this is going to be lower courts, so it won't be like high court of heaven, but it's in the court system. And yeah, like I said, you can get more information in those videos, but that's so that you know that in terms of in the spirit that work. Okay, that's different from like 3D work, but in the spirit, that's that. My role is Virgo rising, which is taking folks to spiritual court. Yeah, so I think making judgment was more for the Libra risings. I was wondering about how to enact this role. So the executive branch does not make judgment. They get activated essentially when the judgment has come down, right? So the legislative branch makes I always get this mixed up. The judicial branch is the court. So it's actually looking at the cases and determining if the law has been broken, right? The executive court or the executive branch, those who are under that, which includes Libra rising, are the ones who then get enacted and empowered to bring judgment, okay? So it already has to be determined that a law was broken. So essentially you get alerted to things or you'll get instruction to move in a certain way for, again, the Libra rising folks, because wrongdoing has already been determined, okay? So you don't actually go in and say like, hey, this is wrong. It's just like, it's, you're only able to see it and be aware of it and be able to take action because it is actually breaking a law, but you're not actually making a law, if that makes sense. But yeah, so Virgo rising can be the bringing of intel to the courts about laws being broken. So, you know, it could be detective stuff, it could be relaying info about judgment that has come down. Like it depends on, again, how you work with your own personal team, whatever that looks like for you. Again, angels, ancestors, whoever. Like I don't know your life, but it could look like for the Virgo rising folks, you get alerted to some fuck shit that's going down, i.e., like, hey, I feel like there's this kind of like dark parasitic energy over here, or what have you, and you like you might get a lot of information about it, or you might have to ask for additional support to investigate to see if there is actually some wrongdoing happening. And that information goes to the court, and you can just like pray about that, right? And that information goes to the court makes a determination about it, and then other folks get alerted to it. Okay. Now, if you're working with, you know, folks who are constantly engaged with the courts as a light worker, you can reach out to them and be like, hey, this came up, I saw this in the spirit, or I encountered this when I was traveling, et cetera, et cetera. Can you check in about this? We can go in and look as well too, and see what's up. Because more likely than not, it's some fuck shit. More likely than not. Not always, but more likely than not it is. Okay? But again, that's why I say, please comment when stuff comes up, because either I can check on that, or I can ask other folks in the community to check on it and determine and let you know what to do, if anything, because you might not have to do any more than just relaying the info, or you may be asked to like do something. If you are asked to do something, it's because you're able to do it. But it does not help for you to just sit on that info and not speak up. Okay? Any other questions? A lot of folks joining. And like I said before, you know, you're not bothering me by commenting. You're not bothering me by submitting something on the content. Like, it's fine. This is the work. We do what we are able to do in the spirit. We do what we're able to do in the physical. It is both and. And yes, there's a lot going on in the spirit, just as there's a lot going on in the physical. And if you are feeling overwhelmed by that, I invite you again to return back to the beginning of this video and neutralize, cancel, and delete those contracts that have you moving yourself out of position and acting like it's just supposed to be you doing things, as if this isn't a collective effort. Okay, I understand. Thank you. I've been doing this when I encounter things personally, but now I feel I can be more proactive in investigations now. Yes. And like I said, if you feel like you need additional protection in terms of like armor, weapons, or what have you in support of that, that's also something you can reach out to and ask about as well. Okay. Because trust and believe, there will be pushback. Like, folks aren't going to like that you are messing up their flow when they're not out here doing what they're supposed to be doing. All right, if there's no other questions, let me check in and see if there's anything else here, because I have been rambling. Oh, actually, this is a question I have for everybody. Again, whether it's live or on the recording, as well as in the realms. Have you noticed that there are folks on your team who seem to not be there, and not in the like, oh, like our contract is done and we're just moving on, but in a sense of like, oh, they're just not in their position anymore? and that space just feels empty. Let me know if that has been coming up for you. I'm also getting told to remind everyone, especially in the realms that Mother Earth and the nature kingdoms and human beings, because we're part of the nature kingdom. I think we tend to forget that. Like we forget that we are actually mammals. um, that we are a precious thing. And even those within our own solar system, as well as outside of the solar system, are jealous of that, envious of that. And the sovereignty of Mother Earth, regardless of whether it's within the solar system or outside of the solar system, has to be the thing that is also defended. So just know for those spirits who might be associated with other planets or asteroids or even the sun that are not acting right and not doing right in their positions, let this serve as a warning. Okay? You do actually need to stop what you're doing as it relates to any suppression, oppression, or parasitic activities, whether it's related to human souls, the nature kingdoms, or Mother Earth herself. Because the higher courts of heaven and that judgment is coming down. Um, let's see. One of my beneficial ancestors, Betsy, feels different or distant. Has she actually elevated into heaven? Because also if you're used to feeling somebody at a certain level and they're not there anymore, they might have also promoted. Let's see. Yeah, I picked up on it recently, actually, in particular, a new member from the Elven realm. What do you mean? Like they kind of disappeared, or give me a little bit more clarity? Also, some ancestors feel distant now that I think about it. Yeah, but I thought it was just usual quietness that can occur periodically. It can depend. I'm just kind of curious to see like what is showing up for folks. I think I'll check on that in a second, but that it just popped up. Because with the ancestors, it might be a situation where they're kind of being moved into certain protected areas while certain levels, certain dimensions get cleared out. And so there's no kind of like collateral damage. So we got 9 of Wands with the Empress and 10 of Pentacles. I wonder if they're actually like really tired. Yeah, but the Elven member just isn't there, but our relationship is also quite new. High key, they might have gotten snatched, but because the elves really be on one, but elves really be on one. Welcome to folks coming in. Yeah, it feels like a lot of them are tired. They've been fighting a lot. So, yeah, I think they were moved to protected areas. I'll have to do a check-in. Yeah, I mean, definitely check in and see. Let me see. I think this might be the lowest level of the astral realm, which is that realm when like folks just crossed over. Because there's basically like 3 kind of subdivisions of the astral. This feels more like it's yeah, there's 4 swords with the tower and the 3 of pentacles. It's that lower level. And yeah, there's a big clearing that's about to come through. I don't know when. I don't have a sense of timing, but yeah. But I believe the ones in heaven, so basically like 5D and above, should be fine. But let me see. Are the 5D folks still accessible predominantly? Yeah. So we have 6 of Swords, Chariot, and Tower with the Sun. So elevated beneficial ancestors in heaven, specifically 5D and up, should feel or should be available. You may or may not know them. Okay. But most likely the ones in the astral, especially the ones in the lower astral, probably not gonna be available because they're in protected areas and are needing to recuperate and recover because they've been fighting a lot on their behalf and for themselves, actually. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else, but I believe we are probably good. Yeah, I believe that we talked about everything we needed to. So again, remember those in terms of essentially war strategy that I am specifically focused on, and that at least leading the community that I'm connected to focus on, in addition to whatever else they might have, is that reclamation of territory and the dismantling and removal of the networks that trap, parasitize, suppress, and oppress the souls of humanity in the nature kingdoms, which is a broad thing. And, deals with a lot. Makes a lot of sense. Thank you. All right. So let me get closing guidance and we will bounce. See if we can land right at, we're at 11:44 right now. See if we can finish soon. Yeah, the fire has calmed. The call out has calmed. Again, welcome to new folks who are coming in. Please make sure, if you have not already, to like the video. Follow me on Instagram if you're not already. Subscribe to me on YouTube if you're not already. IG folks, please subscribe to me on YouTube, because, you know, IG at any time can, you know, shut down an account. We do not own these platforms, so YouTube is at least not as problematic as IG is in terms of that. And also, I've been doing Oracle Talks on YouTube for the past few months because I haven't been streaming here on IG. So definitely go over there. And absolutely, if you have not been watching me over on YouTube, you need to specifically go back and watch from the August video, which I believe is related to the attack on the souls of humanity. The title was something like that, and I believe it was the August 15th video. But starting from there and moving forward, make sure you catch up on all those videos. There was a lot of intel that came through. Yeah. Okay. So closing guidance. Look it. Queen of Swords. Four of Wands. And the Chariot card with the Tower on the bottom. One of my favorite cards. It was the fire that was coming through earlier. So Queen of Swords. This is, again, our power in the spirit, our position in the spirit, whatever it is, whatever the scale. Again, it does not matter. It's just the job. But it is an important job, and we need to step up into that. That is our birthright. That is our spiritual inheritance. It's not something that we necessarily will do forever, because we will continue to move and grow over time, over our lifetime. But, you know, for here and now, this is clear, or you have the opportunity to get clear about that. It needs to be claimed. Say yes to it and start proactively engaging with it here and now. This Four of Wands is a reminder that your priority, first and foremost, is continuing to deepen your relationship with Mother, Father, Source, which is devotional in nature. It is just that simplicity of breath and meditation and being with that which is the parent of your spirit and your soul. You don't have to jump through all these hoops of all these, you know, special prayers and chants and mantras and like all the things. Like, there is no separation. So please rest in that which is yours. So that is priority. And then very close second to that is the continued elevation of your own consciousness and your energy body. Please, if you have not already, focus on getting to your quote unquote 7D consciousness and access your 7th dimensional layer of your aura. Become more comfortable with that. If that has already been in place, go to 8th, go to 9th, 10th, 11th, keep going. Long-term goal is 24D. Okay. And then last but not least, you have the general war strategy coming from me. All right. So you should already have a sense of how that can fit into, or what that fits into the work that you do and the gifts that you have, and et cetera, et cetera. Okay. If you have questions, again, please reach out and ask. Please share your intel, whether in the comments or on the contact page of my website. But please be proactive in this as well. This work in the spirit is just as important as whatever work you do in the physical to help make our world a better place for all. Okay. And then, yeah, like I said, please do come through for the Lightworker Incubator when that opens up. Whether you are a returning alumni that wants to, you know, refresh the work, or if you are brand new to the work, enrollment will be opening later this year for the January group. And I am getting the pull to bring back the Incubator alumni group as well, because the scale of the work and really the structure around that. That's actually what was coming through for me specifically. This systematic and consistent work for folks in creating more routines and stuff is needed, and the work needs to expand. Because again, from my perspective, at least what I see and what I notice, folks, who do spirit work or who are spiritualists in general, focus on either one or two things. If they are like me, the focus is just on the personal. And if they're not like me, of a lighter hue, their focus is on everything off-world. And this like middle messy area is just not being addressed, at least for what I've been exposed to. So I also accept the call out for myself to be even louder and be more specific and be more pushy about handling the middle stuff, because it's still messy. And real talk, if a being in whatever realm is not submitted to the work of the ascension for the souls of humanity and the nature kingdoms and earth sovereignty, at a minimum, like if they're not actually submitted to that, no. Just no. Because at the very least, you are keeping things open for malevolent players to act up over here. And at the most, they are actually like actively on some shenanigans. And this is for everyone, because y'all already know I came for the Arcturians a couple of years ago. Y'all already know. Or maybe some of you know, because I don't know where like that was what context that was in. But there are some hues who like hyper focus on off-world people, who hyper focus on being star seeds, as if everyone is not a star seed, because all life in our region, the Milky Way galaxy, was physical spot was projected from the core of the Milky Way galaxy. So everyone is a star seed. Just y'all. Okay. Because folks really be on some spiritual elitism, and I am not here for it. When I say I'm coming for everyone, I am coming for everyone. Like, handle your region of space, please. Why are you over here? Because 40% of the time, shit that you're not handling in your area of the galaxy is over here causing trouble. It's the same structure of domination, just transferred to a new area of focus. Exactly. Which is also why I need folks to speak up, because you only have a certain contingent who is speaking about things, as if there aren't all these other God families and other like things going on. And, folks like me are over here like having to take down all this bullshit that they created to connect to these stars and these. We shouldn't even have to do all of that if folks within this own solar system weren't on some bullshit. Like, let's actually talk about it. About to get me started again. Listen. And this is actually no disrespect. This is no disrespect, but beyond like personal soul healing that an individual may have, why are you that obsessed? Like, for real. Other people do not need to be here. And if you miss it so much, go home. But guess what? You don't want to go home because you don't actually get to have access what you have access to over there, and you want to be over here stunting. Let's talk about it. Same folks who want to be like, you know, oh, we were kings and queens. Everybody wasn't a king and queen, y'all. Like, some folks are really just musicians. It's okay. Some folks were just stay-at-home moms. It's okay. And all of that has value. Woo, Lord. This fire is only going to get worse from me. I'm just giving y'all a heads up. I can tell, especially as we get into Sagittarius season, I'm going to be on one. So I'm just giving y'all a heads up. I'm giving y'all a heads up. I'm going to be on one. Because I'm definitely going to be coming for the Angel Kingdom next. Definitely going to be coming for the Angel Kingdom next. Because I just am over it. I'm over the shenanigans. There's too many other important things to do. And it is also not our job to fix other people's mess. Okay. Any questions, comments, or concerns before I go? I can't believe I still have battery. Still have battery on my phone. That's amazing. Come on. Anything else? I'm more so asking for y'all that rather than from spirit. I don't think my spirit has anything else that needs to get off his chest right now. I think it's got everything I need to say. Yeah, we're good. Or my spirit is getting away to something else it needs to say. Nothing from nobody else? All right. So now there's work for me to go do. All right, awesome. Love to see it. So yeah, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. If you came in later, please do go back and watch the beginning, especially the first 19 minutes, because there was a really important power and clearing and all the things that are there. Feel free to keep this field of protection and healing up throughout, at least the next 3 hours or so. If you choose to go longer than that, you can ask for it, but I'm going to request our divine teams to hold that this containment field for the next 3 hours for those that were here live, to support the integration of these energies and for more information and intel to come through. So if you have the time and space to at least meditate for the next 10 to 15 minutes and have your journal to be able to, take down whatever comes down, definitely do so. I will add the prayer for the protection for the souls of humanity link in the description box for the YouTube channel. But in the meantime, regardless, it is on my website on the blog page, so check it out there. Please also make use of the healing prayer for the oppressors. I know it's not as much of a popular one, but I'm gonna link that one as well too. That is specifically under that second part of the war strategy to essentially starve the beast. Okay, it's really couched in that. That's why I created it on the low. So please use that as well. Also, the new schedule for Covenant is out. So if you are interested, check that out. It is on IG, and yeah, it's just on IG because I don't think I had it in this week's newsletter, but I'll have it in next week's newsletter. Sign up for my newsletter as well, please, because again, we don't own these platforms. So please do make sure you connect it to me on my newsletter in case anything does happen. I am available there and on YouTube. If you were a returning customer and you'd like to book a session, you can do so by going to the sessions page on the website. If you are new and you want to work with me in a long-term coaching contract, so a minimum of a month or longer, you can do that as well. Otherwise, be ready to come through for the Lightworker Incubator. Oh, the alumni keeps coming up. Hold on. I'm wondering if I'm actually, because I wasn't thinking of I just got that heads up about it. I was thinking of doing it the beginning of next year, but I'm wondering if it's supposed to be November. Yeah, it is actually supposed to be November. Okay. Okay, I am, hold on. Okay, so what I will do is I'll set that up for joining. Oh, wait, hold on. 1 second. Okay, I actually need to set it up during Libra season so folks can actually sign up then. But I will also have an additional incentives for folks who sign up. I have to see if it's either going to be either Scorpio season or at least by the beginning of November, where you'll get an additional discount if you decide to retake the incubator for the January cohort. Because y'all already get discounts, but I think I might also add an additional one, taking off the additional price that the incubator or the alumni group will be, off of that too for those who want to go back and retake it. So yeah, I'll do that. And I'll price it to what it was before, like when I initially had the alumni group, which was $50. So hopefully that is feasible for folks. And yeah, so I will get on that. And I'll send an email out to the alumni about that. So that will be coming quite shortly, probably by tomorrow at the latest, because this is feeling like, and this is making sense because there is a lot of work that does need to get done in the next few weeks, actually. So yeah. And then for everybody else who is not an alumni, you definitely would have access to that alumni group after you complete the incubator program. Okay. But yeah, alumni are getting called. So it's like we have a lot of work to do because there's a lot of the cosmic judgment energy is strong. The sacred destruction energy is strong. And we need to have some things in place. It's good. Like it's not heavy or anything, but it's like, yeah, it's good. All right, y'all. I'll be in the building. Yay. All right. So I love you all so much. Thank you for receiving the fire. It was given in love. I know you understand that and receive it. Please do share this video. Tag folks in the comments if it's on IG or what have you. I don't care, but please get it out. Please let folks know, especially if they are alumni. And yeah, God willing, I will see y'all next week. Or whenever spirit calls, but yeah. What's going on next week? Why am I getting a pause? Oh, next week is that Jupiter retrograde. And then Pluto's going direct. So Jupiter's going retrograde on Wednesday. Pluto's going direct on Friday. Next week is going to be a very eventful time. I feel like there's a lot that is coming through still, not necessarily for channeling right now, but it might be because I'm picking up that energy from the CME that's coming from the solar flare we just had yesterday, that X-class solar flare. So that might be why, like, I feel like there's still a lot of energy coming through. There might be other stuff. I don't know if I'll jump on again for an Oracle Talks beforehand, before next Thursday. We'll see. I just might have to like integrate some things, but yeah, there's like a lot of it's very expansive energy. So definitely be working with your energy field over these next, specifically October 4th and 5th, and into October 6th as well. Yeah, because the energy that's coming is very much about expanding its abundance, its blessings, like it's protective energy as well too. So receive it, especially given the amount of clearing that just happened yesterday with the eclipse. There's a lot that is available for us in terms of reclamation and kind of realigning back to our original and natural timeline. So receive that. I feel like I might actually end up coming on for a live stream on Saturday. So I'm getting pulled to Saturday. We'll see. Maybe that's when the CME is actually going to be hitting, but yeah, the energy on Saturday just feels really beautiful, really abundant, like full of blessings. Like it's very light infused. Like it feels good already tapping into it. So yeah, and there, whatever way that you can, make yourself available to that and for that. Is this there for you? It's there for all of us. I mean, it'll happen regardless, but leaning in and consciously and giving consent for it allows it to go deeper. And the priority is depth of embodiment. Yeah. Final coaching call out for those who are creative entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs in general, nonprofit leaders, or career professionals. If you are looking for a coach who can provide you both personal and spiritual development support as well as business strategy support, I am that girl. I am that woman. So reach out to me. There is a link for a free discovery call with me on IG. If you are going to my website, it is on the session page specifically. You just click on that tab. You can set up a free 30-minute call with me. And let's get to work. But there are definitely some folks, whether they're live or watching the recording, I can't tell, but they're definitely called to work with me in that kind of like longer context and something bigger. So if you're watching, like, it's time, like it's time to come. Yeah, so come through. It's time. All right, that was for somebody. I don't know who was like that just came. All right, y'all, I'm gonna go now, for real. Go eat something. Drink lots of water. Please stay hydrated. At least 8 cups of water. If you can get to 10, that'd be great. So especially over these next couple of days, your body is receiving a lot, so please support it. And God willing, I will see you next time. All right. Love to you. Bye.